Hi, everybody. It's Lucas here again, the voice acting ninja, and here again for another voice acting mini workshop. No interactive stuff this time. It's all me talking. I know it's not the most fun to have in the world, but I'll try to get another interactive one up and ready for you guys soon. Um, I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of messages over the months and the past year about what it takes to be a professional voice actor. You know, how do you know when you're ready to do professional work, and if I was a professional, and how to be more professional, basically. And I've also heard a lot of things that kind of show off about how unprofessional some people out there can be. And so I thought to myself, it probably would be prudent to do a workshop on professionalism. Um, so I wrote a little something, put something together. It's on the screen in front of me here, over here. So if I start looking over here to read, then you know that's why I'm looking over here. Um, the first point that I wanted to talk about with professionalism, I think some people don't really understand this truly, is that voiceover is a business. It really is. You have to treat it like one. And when it comes to the for all of levels of acting, I mean, that's why we call it show business, because it is a business. And to function in this industry effectively, you have to have a sense of what it's like to be a businessman or a businesswoman. And you don't get a voiceover job because you really, really, really want it, or because you think you're hilarious, or because your friends think you can do awesome impressions. You're going to run into a wall pretty darn soon with that attitude. So you need to understand about the nature of business. And the nature of business, in a great number of senses, comes down to money. How do businesses stay in business? They make a profit. So what are you going to do to help make a profit for them as a voiceover artist? That's the mindset you have to have. Some voiceover artists are willing to work for less than scale because they're less experienced, because they lack representation by an agent, because they're non-union, or they simply understand that the recording studio operates on a certain budget and they're willing to work for less money than the other guy, and sometimes that's how they get work. Other people get work because they have an established reputation, because they started off working for small scale, and now over the time they've been able to up their ante a little bit because they've done more work for them. So that's something else. But how to know when you're ready to do professional voiceover work? I mean, that's the main question that I get all the time. I hear this question more often than you'd think. The answer actually is really very simple. You're ready to work in professional voiceover when you stop asking yourself if you're ready. Okay? It's when you truly understand who you are as an artist. You know your own limitations. You know what you're capable of. How long you can sustain your voice in a recording session. That you're able to deliver a performance at the drop of a hat with a minimum of instruction. Now I'm going to make a statement here, and this is my opinion. And I'm making this as a blanket statement across the board. I don't want any hate mail. I don't want any trolling, any flames about this. This is my personal opinion. Okay? If you're 20 years old or younger, you're not ready. As you get older, you will have more emotional memory to pull from. Emotional memories come with time. You experience greater feelings of joy and sadness and elation and fear and despair and victory and loss. And as you move on in life and you feel these deeper emotions, you give yourself a larger emotional palette to paint from, if I may use a flowery artistic metaphor. Those life experiences are necessary as an actor in any field. I'm not just talking voiceover. This is, any field, stage, theater, anything. Film, everything. For voiceover, those life experiences, they shape your mind and they shape your voice to that precision that a voiceover artist needs in the recording booth. And more likely than not, if you're 20 or younger, you don't yet have the capability of also taking criticism in the right way. And that's another point that I wanted to make, is that critiques. All walks of life, young and old, They need to understand this about being a professional in the world of voiceover. Critiques are not personal attacks. You don't know how many times I've seen people get a critique and blow up. How dare that person critique me? How dare they say that I'm not doing my job? How dare they say whatever they say? Critiques are not personal attacks. If a director says to you, could you change that voice that you're using to sound a bit more, you can insert any emotion, a bit more angry, a bit more sullen, a bit more depressed, whatever. They're not saying to you, I don't like you and I don't like your voice. They're not saying that, you know? And the quicker you understand that, truly understand that, not just go, oh, okay. No, you have to truly understand that it's not an attack, the better off you're going to be. It's not true in voiceover. It happens on stage, happens on film. You're the actor, okay? Your job is to perform. The director's job is to give you all the tools necessary for you to perform at your best level, or at least the level that the director wants you to perform at. Now, if you're not performing at your best level, it either means one of two things. You're not listening to the director, or the director is not giving you all the tools you need. And 97.45% of the time, it's your fault as the actor. Which brings up directors. You know, directors are the ones in charge. You're not. Again, another thing you just have to understand. And it's amazing how many people out there really can't wrap their heads around that. You know, directors are the ones in charge. And if tomorrow, I'll give you an example. You get a call from Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg tells you he wants you in his next movie, and you say, sure thing, because you don't say no to Spielberg. And then you get on the set, and you get in front of that camera, and are you in charge of what happens at that point? Or is he in charge? So keeping that in mind, why should any other project you do be different? I don't care if it's a school play, an anime fan dub, a radio play, a short film you do in college, a video game, an audiobook, or a Super Bowl commercial. If you're the actor, you don't have the final say. The director does. Now, does that mean you have to squash your creative opinion as an actor? No. Does it mean you just follow blindly along, not think for yourself? Absolutely not. But there's a time, a place, and a number of methods you can use to get your view across. And how you do it. Not just when and where, how you do it. Very important. Nobody likes to work with a diva. Nobody likes to work with a D-bag. Don't be one. Okay? Cool. Little bit of a change of pace right now. I'd also like to mention that if you want your path, take you to the world of professional voiceover, you're not going to get there entirely without help. You'll have to sit down and speak with people who are more experienced than you, people who have been there, professional voiceover artists. And for those of you anime fans out there, I don't mean talking to voice actors at cons, okay? I mean scheduling time and money for a workshop or a private lesson. Now, I will say this at the outset. Yes, I offer private voiceover lessons, but my intent is not to market my lessons to you right now. That's not my intent, okay? There are plenty of anime voice actors out there who offer advice, critiques, and lessons, and the more experienced ones will cost you more, and you get more out of those lessons. The main point I'm trying to say here is that if you turn a blind eye to the idea of paying a person for lessons, because you think that maybe you either don't have the money or you don't need it, it's a bad move. Okay? Voiceover coaches are not there to be your friend. They're not there to treat you nicely, tell you how awesome you are. They're there to make you into a better actor. Okay? You pay for their ability to hear those subtle differences in your performance and how, in their opinion, you'll be able to grow and get better. Okay? But when it comes to, coaches, you're not supposed to just go to Google and type in voiceover coaches and just take the first one that comes along. You gotta do your homework, right? It's like buying a car. You don't just go out and buy the first car you see, or go out and buy the cheapest one you can find. You do your homework. Okay? There's no legitimate voice acting coach out there who isn't ready to discuss their method of instruction, their payment plan, their idea of what they can do for you. I mean, you look around and you start sending out emails, okay? Talk to people. Hear what they have to say. Make your own decision. But be prepared to throw down some money. Now, if you don't have the money, start saving. Ask mom and dad. Get a second job. But don't give me the, oh, I'm too poor to pay for lessons. I don't have any money. That's the sign of true unprofessionalism. Okay? If you want this, this voice acting thing, got to throw down some money. Got to pay to play. Okay? This brings me to my final point. Being a professional. When do you call yourself a professional? Now, there is no easy answer to this. Now, I've gotten, like I said, numerous emails and messages from people asking me, hey, are you a professional voice actor? And my response back to them is always the same. Well, how do you define the word professional? Some people say it's if you get paid or not. Have I been paid for voiceover work? Yes, but I also know people, and if you think about it, you probably also know people who've been paid to do a job, not just voiceover, but other fields of work too, and they are not in the least bit a professional. Then again, there are people out there who are real class acts, top of the line, nice as you please, talented as they come, but they've never been paid for the grade A quality of the work that they provide. Now, are they professionals? It's subjective. That's basically what I'm saying. There are multiple schools of thought. Most people will agree on this, though. You're not a professional until you start treating others as professionals. Okay? The easiest example I can give to you, to an anime fan. I know a lot of my people out there who watch this are anime fans, so the easiest example I can give you is this. If you go to a con dressed up in your cosplay outfit and you approach a voice actor whose work you really admire, and they say, oh, hi, and you start getting really breathy and laughing really stupidly, and you start rambling on about how much you're a big fan of theirs, and how I've seen all your work, and I sleep with the body pillow of your character next to me every single night. They're not going to take you seriously. Okay? Definitely not as a professional. Even if you are top of the line, nice as you please, talented as they come, with the ability to provide grade A quality work. So my advice? Well, don't worry too much on the cosplay aspect, but what you want to do is you want to treat them like a person. All right? Talk to them as normally as you would if you were being introduced to a nice stranger by a friend of yours, and this stranger happens to be a friend of your friend. We've all been in those situations before. We don't make a spectacle of ourselves when you do that. I mean, have you ever met someone for the first time who, from your first encounter, they seem to come off as a little bonkers, a little off the wall? I mean, how long did it take you to realize how, who they truly were as a person? Did you ever realize who they truly were as a person? I mean, you certainly don't want professional voice actors thinking that way of you. Do you? No. So that's my stance on professionalism. And I think any of these things that I talked about here will help you to be a little bit more professionalism and treating yourself with a little bit more, holding yourself up a little bit higher, giving yourself a little bit more class. It's never too early to get started with that. So that's my 2 cents on that. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I'll see you for the next one. All right. Bye.